helped the Prime Minister unveil the memorial sculpture.
His greatness is found in his humanity, a life demonstrated in his compassion.
Ex-prisoners of war recounted firsthand their experiences of Sir Edward's compassion while held captive in Southeast Asia during World War II.
He and the doctors with him, they operated under the light of the bamboo fires. We knew then we had a great man and a great leader.
In our dreams, I imagine, Weary Dunlop represents what so many of us would like to be as Australians.
We will remember you tonight.
Those that knew Weary well agree he would have loved the sculpture, as it conveys strengths of humanity, qualities Australians aspire to. And it was his ability to forgive that touched so many today.
And that's what we should all be doing, working to build bridges between peoples and nations of the world and not building hate and division between people.
Weary was a friend and mentor to surgeon Michael Long.
He's in my life, he's in lots of other people's lives too.
Belinda Byrne.
To hear the Prime Minister thank God for a war hero few could rival.
1,600 invited guests, including the Dunlop family, the Prime Minister and ex-prisoners of war, joined with thousands more to dedicate a statue in Weary Dunlop's honour. The legendary surgeon went to school in Benalla and served his apprenticeship in pharmacy as ageing POWs filed onto the stage to pay tribute to their saviour and friend. A gust of wind revealed Weary peering out from behind the blue drapes.
They operated under the light of the bamboo fires. We knew then we had a great man and a great leader.
He was not one of those who said we should turn our back on the Asia-Pacific area. He was not someone who wanted to live out in hatred and so expiate some of the feelings of hostility he no doubt had.
Assisted by Weary's granddaughter Isabel, the Prime Minister unveiled the tribute cast in bronze. Ex-POW Tom Uren urged the Prime Minister to send his speech to Australian school children.
It would counter the handsome rubbish much greater than anything else.
The statue realises the dreams of the local RSL who battle to raise money to have it built via a public appeal. It also realises the desire of many to ensure his memory and the things he taught us are not forgotten. Nicole Chavastak, 7 Nightly News.
Coming up next,
felt happy. Meanwhile, Benalla is still basking in the overwhelming success of an event grander than any the town can remember.
To the cheers of one of Benalla's largest crowds ever, Australian POWs began the ceremony with a procession to the Botanical Gardens. There, the veiled statue of Sir Weary Dunlop awaited. Within minutes, the Prime Minister was making his way through the crowds, stopping for the occasional chat, greeted by former Federal Labor politician and POW Tom Uren. Sir Weary's selfless care for his men while on the notorious Burma-Thailand Death Railway has made him legendary.
Men, their shirts off to do a job. No badges of rank on their shoulder. No medals on their chest. No free men sharing a common humanity, bringing a healing compassion.
POWs recounted their wartime experiences, paying homage to their leader.
They operated under the light of the bamboo fires. We knew then we had a great man and a great leader.
Suddenly, a light-hearted touch of symbolism, a gust of wind revealed the head of Sir Weary Dunlop, seemingly keen to support his mates. The Prime Minister spoke passionately of Sir Weary's heroism.
I can't think of a figure in Australian history who has more perfectly and completely lived out that injunction to care for others and to nurse and to look after those whose circumstances are sad and tragic.
With the help of Sir Weary's granddaughter, Mr Howard unveiled the remainder of the statue, a magnificent work capturing at once the suffering and compassion of Sir Weary and his men, a work Sir Weary's son believes would have pleased his father.
During one's lifetime, he may not have been very happy about things, but I don't think he'd be unhappy about this.
Jan Burrell.
Beautiful, she wouldn't have been born.